Yes, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to my peoples and my guys, look alive, look alive. It's your boy, Act Reacher, Judge Galvatron, presiding. We got another episode of Night Court. Sorry that we've been keeping y'all waiting. Got two cases on the docket, but before we get into that, let me say what up to the jury. Daryl Deloach, salute. Omega Red, my OG. Kano Loco, Tay Tay Brown, of course. And yeah, yo, Supreme Beast, tell the people where they can find you at and all that good stuff.
Shit, man, y'all already know, man. Right here on YouTube, Supreme Beast Boxing Talk. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 4:15 Eastern Standard Time. We bullshitting on the Beltway. Check me, my co-host KG, and the rest of the usual suspects out. Believe that there.
Yes, sir. Jay Steels, man, tell the people where they can find yourself at. Looking sharp. The Blue Blazer.
What to do, what you saying, what to go on at your favorite. Get your most hated off, fella. Back for another one, Boxing Night Court, episode 25. Y'all know where you can find me. You know what I mean? The War Report, the Odd Fella, right here on YouTube. This Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we gonna have Joshua Mueto. He's coming in for an album listening session. So yeah, it's gonna be a dope one. So pass through 9 p.m. Eastern Time, album listening session live inside the war room.
Yes, sir. And of course, we on Night Court. All this good stuff. Uh, Let us know the first case on the docket.
First case on the docket is the LDBC versus Rolly Romero.
Um, he'll be defending himself. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
Uh, Salute to Sweet Tea. Okay. Rest of the jury, before we get into opening arguments and things of that nature, just know that we're just going to highlight and not read the chats. We're just going to highlight it, because, the brothers is going to be cooking and making their case and things like that. So, whoever would like to go first, proceed.
All right. Well, I started off. Rolly Romero is being charged with impersonating a championship boxer. He's being charged with what's the word, fella? I can't think of the word. When you get caught lying, it's not embezzlement.
Perjury.
Yeah,
Perjury.
yeah, aggravated perjury. You know what I'm saying? Aggravated perjury. And just being an all around scary. You know what I'm saying? Scary duck. You know what I'm saying? You know, I gotta keep. I'm gonna keep it simple too. Just being an all around scary duck. That's the last charge I have. Fella, do you have any other charges that you have?
Well, to be more specific with your scary duck charge, I would like to charge as well a Teofimo Lopez with grand duckery.
Mm.
Grand duckery.
He has something to do with the case?
Excuse me?
Does
Oh, you
he
talking
have?
about
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Tio. Yeah, does he have something to do with Rolly's case?
Oh, excuse me, Rolly Romero with grand duckery.
Okay, okay.
Teofimo Lopez does have
He has his day.
he
Yeah.
has involvement in this case, and I will prove that in due time. But uh once again, Rolly Romero, once again, to piggyback off of Cadillac, prosecutor Cadillac's charge of scary ducking, I would like to add on the more serious charge
Of
of
grand.
grand duckery. To further uh your assertion with Teofimo Lopez as you interjected. To further that, I would like to prove his involvement in a criminal enterprise known as the Devon's Angels.
Mm.
I would like to show Rolly Romero has been involved in the recruiting, the initiation for the purpose of clout chasing in these boxing streets. Your Honor, those are the charges that I would like to present to the courts thus far. Cadillac Red, you're the lead prosecutor. I'll allow you to render your statements first.
Okay, okay. I was I'm glad you brought in the other guys, and we'll have their day. But I would like to have this session on the record for that day, because the organization known as Devon's Angels have been racketeer, influence, and corrupt organizations, also known as the RICO Act. We need to be hitting them with that, and I want this information today to be processed in that RICO Act that we have for that group of Devon's Angels. But we can start off with Rolly. You know what I'm saying? Let's start off with Rolly. Okay, so Rolly Romero, man, what do we got? What do we got? You know what I'm saying? 14-0, 12 KOs, underneath the money team, which is Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellaby, and those guys. Pretty much been in the shadow of the money man, the superstar at that weight class, and on the same roster, which is Tank Davis. He gives the notion that he doesn't like being second fiddle or second tier to Tank, and just recently he has been saying that he doesn't like it. Now he's been there for 12 fights and 14 fights, and of the 13, maybe even 12, I haven't heard him say anything of any champion's name. Once he became a champion and he started getting actual checks or whatnot, he had a fight against a Jackson Marenez. You know what I'm saying? In that fight, he got the flu flops put on him, and wound up getting a gift decision. Now we know how these regional belts work, because he was fighting for a third and dairy regional belt title. So I don't even know how that even is deserving of a belt, but nonetheless, he was fighting for it, and which he did lose, but had the gift decision. Now, from the gift decision, instead of being the humble kid that we would like, or being gracious that he had a tough fight and realizing he had some work to do in the gym, this is when the turn up of Rolly Romero reached its national stage, so to speak. From getting his ass whipped that night, he went on a rampage of calling out all of the top guys. But wouldn't a third and dairy title, we would expect that. But what we don't expect is for your next fight to be fighting that Avery Sparrow. That is unacceptable of a third regional champion. We would expect the regional champion to fight the guy that's number one and stablemate. And that would be Tank Davis. But he doesn't do that. He goes the other route, right around in between this Marinez and Avery Sparrow fight. He goes around and gets to calling out Devin Haney. Devin Haney is another regional champion, but has nothing to do with anything that Rolly Romero has going on. He goes to call Devin all kinds of names, and then I'll pull this up. Give me one quick second, Your Honor. Let me make sure I got this right. Boss Max sent Devin Haney. He sent a video of Rolly's defense. So and his defense will be used as evidence as well. And I'll share that with you. There we go. Can you see that, Your Honor? Excuse the blurriness. Okay, here we
I'm sure
go.
they can see it now.
Yeah, this is what Rolly has to say in between of getting his ass whipped by Jackson Marinez, you know what I'm saying, right after an Avery Sparrow fight that with a guy that doesn't belong in the ring with him. This is what he has to say.
Devin Haney is the biggest bitch in boxing. If I'm so easy, fight me and fucking whoop my fucking ass. But no, because he knows he's a chinny, frail-ass little bitch. I'm 100% down with boxing. Boxing has done nothing but cause me a bunch of misery, honestly. I just wish somebody could give me that advice because, honestly, I'm done boxing, so I can't even help you guys with that advice.
Goes into being done with boxing, calling out a champion another regional champion that is not in his region. He can go the route that he has the belt, which is the WBA, and fight the WBA champion. But instead, he decides to call out the WBC champion for some odd reason. Then says he's done with boxing. This is where the beginning of the grand perjury comes in. Next fight, Anthony Yidget, you're not retired. Selling fibs to the fans, your couple fans that you have, because that was a personal video from his personal account. He fights Anthony Yidget, not any champs that he says, and right after the fight, commits again to calling out Dev, and he needs to stop running. He's chinny. Okay, fine. We're gonna set the fight up. We hear Black Jesus. We hear Trill Bill say, "Oh, I sent the paperwork. I talked to Mayweather. I've done my due diligence on my end to get this fight made." No response from Rolly. Rolly then comes out. I don't have the first interview he did, but he then comes out. He doesn't give an interview to fans. No, or I mean not to fans, for fans. He gets caught at a boxing event because he's a boxer, and you know how media does. They rolled up on him with the camera. He gets to saying that, yeah, Dev priced himself out. How can you price yourself out if you're the A side? He's giving you the check. Makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Then he says, well, Devin isn't anybody. I'll rather just fight Tank. Tank's the bigger fighter. Who would you want to see me fight? Devin or Tank Davis? But he doesn't have a rivalry that he started up with Tank. When he had the opportunity to, he was nowhere to be found. But now it's all about him versus Tank. Falsifying that you're a champion, and that was one of the charges, running around as a fake champ. You know what I'm saying? Pretending that you're a fake champion. Your regional belt gets caught in a scandal. And the first thing they do is start pulling away the belts that they know doesn't belong in boxing. Whose belt is that? Rolly Romero's. So you've gone from perpetrating like you are to now being stripped by your own regional team, regional sanctioning body. And it's not even set in stone that you have the fight set up for the championship in that region. So that in a nutshell is what I have as far as lying to the fans. You know what I'm saying? Grand duckery in the accounts of Devin Haney, and perpetrating like you are a champ when you're not even a regional champ. I'll pass it off to our fella and let him do his thing.
Yes, sir. Counselor
You're mute.
Fusion Cadillac. I would like to first start off with bringing forth more evidence against Rolly Romero, confirming that he is a fraud, claiming that he's a champion when he's not. We'll show you video evidence as I cue it up here. Your Honor, can everybody see the screen?
Yes, proceed.
Belts make you a champion.
Can everybody hear that?
No, turn it up and replay it for the jury and myself. Thank you. Okay.
That's on TV. Belts make you a champion. Belts don't turn you to a megastar. Belts make you a champion. Belts don't turn you to a megastar. I'm already a champion. It doesn't matter. I'm already a champion.
That's enough. We'll end off right there.
Okay.
There's evidence, Your Honor, that I'm presenting Rolly Romero today. That assertion came out today, stating that he's a champion when he's not a champion, not even a regional champion. Therefore, Rolly Romero is a fraud. He's perjured himself in front of everybody, in front of this judge, in front of the jury. I have more evidence to display, Your Honor. That was just the mere introduction.
Proceed with the evidence.
Of this. Could you please not interrupt while I'm doing my assertion, please, Your Honor. Thank you.
We just want to
Now,
see
as I
the
was
evidence.
saying,
My bad. My bad.
Proceed. I'm sorry.
Rolly Romero was a part of a criminal syndicate by the name of Devin's Angels. What are his what is his position in that criminal syndicate? What does he do in that syndication? Well, we will see. I will show you evidence. We've been able to intercept one of their secret transmissions via Flight Hype TV, and I'll present this to the stand, Your Honor, and we will see um, the the collaboration and the cooperation between Rolly Romero and Teofimo Lopez. Another thing you will see is the positioning. Who is the boss in the situation? Your Honor, can you see the screen?
I can see. It's cool. All right.
You beat him before I do, man. That's my bitch, bro. You can't put my bitch.
Now, before I play any more, Your Honor, do you hear Rolly Romero speaking and responding to Teofimo Lopez, saying, "That's my bitch"?
Yes, but I would like you to refrain from the language if you can.
Do you hear the response from Teofimo Lopez stating, "That's my B"?
Appreciate it. Yeah, I do.
That's in reference to Ryan Garcia. This is the evidence I'm showing you to prove the recruiting tactics. This is the conversation that Rolly and Tio are having to secure one of the baddest bees in the land, Ryan Garcia. I'll proceed.
You're right about that. I can't
That's
hit
my
your bitch.
bro. You can't, bro. You gotta stay away from my bitch, bro. You got respect, bro. You gotta
I'm
stay away
I'm
from my bitch.
all right. I'll stay away from your bitch.
There you have it. The top dog in the Devon's Angels called off Teofimo Lopez and said, "I'll stay away from your B." Do I have to back it up, Your Honor? I'll play it one more time for the people in the back, for the jury that didn't hear, that are just walking in now.
You gotta stay away from my bitch, bro. You got respect, bro. You gotta
I'm
stay away from my bitch.
all right. I'll stay away from your bitch.
There we have it. Once again, they are speaking in reference to Ryan Garcia, and Rolly Romero is looking like the head honcho in Devon's Angels because he's playing, telling what positions and telling people where to go and who's who. Your Honor, I'd like to bring more evidence to the stand.
You can proceed.
Yes, my fingers don't click that fast, so patience. Your Honor, is my screen shared?
Yes, sir.
As you see on the far left, Ryan Garcia has now been initiated and indoctrinated as one of Devin's angels. You see Rolly Romero consoling Ryan Garcia on his left shoulder, all holding hands. This is the network. This is the sisterhood, sworn to secrecy, bound by sisterhood. We see all three of them with the same doctrine against Black Jesus. Teofimo Lopez and his ducking of Black Jesus, refusing to make that WBC belt whole. We have young Ryan Garcia refusing to fight Black Jesus, winning the opportunity at an interim championship, seizing that interim championship, and then relinquishing, throwing it away in sights of psychiatric help, taking a leave of absence. And now we have this ringleader in the center, Rolando Romero, out here, Twitter fingers, clout chasing, calling people bees, claiming that he's a champion when he has no belts. Acting like he's an A side, and then claiming that the offers aren't big enough when he's only a B side. A B for real. This, Your Honor, is your ringleader of the Devon's Angels, who's been employing the rest of these young boys to do the same thing. Sworn to secrecy, bound by sisterhood. Rolando Romero is the oldest of this bunch, the 25-year-old. We go 25, 24 for Teofimo, and the little young pup, Lil Ryan, 23. Being molded to be a clout chaser in the steps of the grand wizard, Rolly Romero. I have further evidence, Your Honor. As I was trying to peruse through Rolly Romero's Twitter account, I noticed that I can't access his Twitter account because in the Twitter universe, Rolly Romero has been canceled. Rolly Romero has been put on timeout. As you see, Your Honor, at the bottom of the screen where the green circle is around, maybe I should zoom in. Maybe I should zoom in for the people that can't see. Is that good for y'all? I know you're wearing glasses, Your Honor.
I can see very clearly.
It says the account you are trying to view has been suspended. That
Sorry.
account I was trying to view was none other than Rolly Romero. Suspended. Put it on timeout in the Twitterverse, in the Twitter universe, excuse me. Therefore, he should be suspended and put on timeout in the LDBC courts, Your Honor. Recruiting for the purpose of clout chasing. You see them, Your Honors. Devin's Angels. He's the oldest one of the bunch. I've showed you the evidence that he's dictating what goes on, who does the clout chasing, and who the B is. Fraudulency. Masquerading around as a champion when we all know that trash black belt WBA has since removed those interim belts and those interim straps. Lying to the public. Yana, these three people that I've shown you in front of your face, Devin's Angels, 25, 24, and 23, at such a young, tender age in the boxing sport, they've only fought 3 times this year. A total of 3 times between 3 fighters that are in their young 20s. This needs to be put to the stop, Your Honor. Consequences need to happen, and this ringleader in Rolly Romero of the Devin's Angels needs to be removed off these streets. Grand duckery, fraud, and the head of a criminal organization by the name of Devin's Angels. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Any last or closing statements before I render verdict from you, Prosecutor Red or Steels?
No, none at all. Oh, yeah, you know what, Yana, I do got something I would like to say. I think when you give your sentencing, you should be very harsh with this sentencing, and because you say you want clean streets, and we have to make an example, and we have to do what's right. And if we keep giving these guys that commit these type of crimes leniency and light sentencing, then they will never learn, and we will be doing them and our people of the LDBC an injustice.
I'll take that into consideration, Prosecutor Red, when I render verdict, which I'm going to right now before we get into next hand of business. As far as the LDBC versus Rolly Romero, case 2151, we find Rolly Romero guilty on all charges. And I want the sentencing to begin now. So I want him to say goodbye to everybody and things like that, because he got to go. He got to go for a little bit. You know what I mean? We could at least clean up Vegas before I get there. Before I move out there, clean up Vegas for me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's pretty much how that one's going. Next case on the docket.
Next case on the docket is the LDBC versus Big Baby Jared Anderson.
Y'all wanted it, and y'all got it. Any opening arguments or?
Well, I'll be the defense for Big Baby Anderson today. I've been hired by Team Top Rank and Team Big Baby Anderson. So First and foremost, I would like to hear the charges that are against my client, if you may.
Okay. The charges that's being brought up on Big Baby is torture, treason, administering drugs that is not certified by the CDC, and civil rights violations. You know what I'm saying? And I say civil rights violations because he was that coon platoon that he's trying to gather up and lead is very harmful to the streets. And I would like to point out that all these charges that I named are federal charges, not just some light state work. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I have.
Yeah, these are strong charges. Counselor, would you like to rebuttal or cross-examine anything?
First off, Your Honor, I would like to say that this is my client's, I believe, first offense. He's been tied into a RICO.
Objection, Your Honor.
Order, one at a time. Order. I ain't have to bang the gavel in a while. Feels like home.
This is his second time in court, Your Honor. Not his first.
Technically, Your Honor, technically it's the second time, but this is his first time as an individual.
No. That is incorrect. That is exactly why.
That is actually true.
No. That's incorrect. I have the video footage of him getting charged with the defense being the prosecutor, and I was the defense. Junior the Truth was my witness. This was he was involved in a RICO case too, but he has had his own day in court individually as well. I just want to put that on the record, make sure that that's known.
However, Your Honor, for separate circumstances, and for one thing, Your Honor, I must say that through the course of this case, I hope you show leniency. Though my client is a young pup at the age of 21, he's gone through a hard life. And I will state and show you through his trials and tribulations is the reason why certain things have taken place and have sculpted him. For that reason, my client should be looked to be indicted and institutionalized. My client will seek rehabilitation and one day be an LDBC ambassador, but I will prove my case to you as well as ladies and gentlemen of the jury. That's my opening statements, Your Honor.
Do you have any opening statements or anything you would like to cross-examine Prosecutor Ray?
Your Honor, we said we was gonna keep this court clean, and we not gonna get on any shenanigans, but we cannot just let someone just flat out lie just because they said it in a nice tone. This is ridiculous. This is Big Baby's second time in court for the same charges that he in court today for. When you are young and you keep repeating the same offense, you must sit down and learn your lesson. Then maybe when you come back to society, you know what I'm saying, you might be right. So as far as leniency, he had that on the first time. Not only did he have it on the first time and got let off with some light sentencing, which I can't, you know what I'm saying? The prosecutor the defense that held him down, you know what I'm saying? He was a bad man, you know what I'm saying, to get that life sentencing for him because he was guilty. You know what I'm saying? But he got the life sentence, then got caught in a RICO, Your Honor. How do you turn around and get caught, get told you're good, you're young, take the probation, it's your first time in trouble, you don't know nothing about the LDBC court, then turn around and get caught in a RICO, Your Honor. Hey, you know, I'm a brother, he a brother, he's in trouble, I done been in trouble before, Your Honor. You know, hanging with the wrong crowd. Things like that happen. He was living his life right, but he was just hanging around the wrong crowd still. Right? But now you're getting caught again on the same charges that you got hemmed up with the first time you got found guilty on these cooning charges. You know what I'm saying? That's the main. This is his second time in court. Like I said, we're not gonna say the first. This is his second time in here with these charges. We need maximum sentencing, Your Honor. We definitely need maximum sentencing for this. That's my opening statements. You know what I'm saying? That's what I have for you. We can divulge into the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? As we get in, you know what I'm saying, break the case down.
Yes, sir. Does Counselor Steels, do you have a defense?
Most definitely. First off, I would like to start off with the dialogue in question that's brought amongst these indictments, these accusations of coonery to my client. So first, I would like to play the evidence of my client, Big Baby Anderson, and then I would like to elaborate on where Big Baby Anderson is coming from. So allow me to share my screen, make sure I share the audio as well. And there we have it. Just tell me when you're ready, Your Honor.
You may proceed, sir.
Quit saying like this, bro. Who people, bro? Like, I don't understand. Okay, I'm black. Okay, he black. What does that mean? I got white people in my family. Why y'all talking, bro? Y'all don't know who my people is.
Now, I'll play it one more time for the people in the back.
No, I don't have FAB Sanchez. Got him knocking him the fuck out. Hey, man. I really need you weirdos to quit saying stuff like this, bro. Who is my people, bro? Like, I don't understand. Okay, I'm black. Okay, he black. What does that mean? I got white people in my family. Why y'all talking, bro? Y'all don't know who my people is.
Now, that was the big dialogue that has caused all this accusation of coonery, all these indictments against my client. But Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm here today to show you where my client is coming from. Yeah. I'm here to show you where my client is coming from and who his people are. Because you heard in that clip, he says, y'all some weirdos. You don't know who my people are. I got white people in my family. Well, as the defense, I'm here to show you who's part of Big Baby Anderson's family. We need to understand the family tree. But before we get into the family tree, we need to first understand Big Baby Anderson. Born in the year 1999. Yeah. Born to the name Jared. Jared has many names. An African dialect, an Ethiopian dialect, it means one that comes down. An angel that descended from. In Hebrew dialect, it means ruler. So we can put it all together. We can put it all together. And I'm going to show you that he was passed down to become the next ruler of the heavyweight division. The name Jared, ruler, brought down, descended from angels to rule the heavyweight division. Now let's look at the family tree, shall we? Since we know the science of Big Baby Anderson's name, Jared. Remember, he was born in 1999. But the legend didn't start until 2002. Your Honor, allow me to introduce La Familia. Does everybody see this on the screen?
I can see. I'm sure that the jury can.
Okay. La Familia, 1999. Born into the world, Jared. Mother told him, son, one day you will be the ruler of the heavyweight division. Through trials and tribulations, the Anderson family, a wrestling family from Minnesota, was kind enough to take young Jared in and received young Jared, allegedly. As the Anderson family, this famous wrestling family from Minnesota, you see Gene, you see O, and you see Arn, who is here today, who will make a statement later on, but I need to show you the Big Baby Anderson's family. Arn Anderson, Gene Anderson, and Ole Anderson. Right? Now, Ole Anderson didn't like the Swati Jared Anderson, the big black Jared Anderson. He had a problem with him. So there goes the nickname Lil Orphan Anderson, established since 2002. Lil Orphan Anderson used to get picked on by old Anderson, but Arn Anderson didn't like that. Arn Anderson, he took a liking to Lil Orphan Anderson. So in secret, Arn Anderson used to teach Lil Orphan Anderson little wrestling tactics. So as we see here in the timeline, in 2011, Lil Orphan Anderson was indoctrinated in the Anderson craft of combat. What's the Anderson craft of combat, you might ask? Once again, it's wrestling. These are fighting men. Remember that term, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and your honor. These are fighting men, the Andersons. So once again, through the indoctrination and from the tutelage of the great uncle Arn Anderson, this helped big Lil Orphan Anderson to craft this combat. But he wanted to be Lil Orphan Anderson. He didn't want to be a wrestler like the rest of the Andersons, Gene and Ole and Arn. He wanted to be a big time boxer. So once again, in 2017, Lil Orphan Anderson won the USA National Championship. Okay? Went back to back with it. 2018, Lil Orphan Anderson won the USA National Championship. Okay? After having so much success at the national level, after being indoctrinated with the Anderson craft of combat, Lil Orphan Anderson and the rest of the Andersons decided it's time to be sold into boxing servitude. The year 2019, Lil Orphan Anderson signs a deal to Top Rank with his handler being none other than Jay Prince, boss being the Bob father himself, Bob Arum. So his new masters in boxing servitude. There you have it. And once again, in 2019, this is when Lil Orphan Anderson officially changed his name to Big Baby Anderson. Put that thanks to the hand of the Jay Prince. But let the record state that before 2019, Big Baby Anderson was known as Lil Orphan Anderson. Once again, implemented by the wicked grand uncle, Ole Anderson. But now that we have an understanding of Big Baby Anderson, aka Lil Orphan Anderson's familia, it's time for us to get witness account from one of Big Baby's family members, if I may. So let me just stop this screen real quick and we'll go live to Minnesota, where we have the favorable Arn Anderson speaking on his nephew, Lil Orphan Anderson. Allow me to pull this up. Hopefully I can find it quickly. Yes, now I found it. Now, before I play this clip, let me put a disclaimer to the jury and to the judge so we can have proper understanding of what Mr. Arn Anderson is saying. Because Mr. Arn Anderson still speaks in a dialect from the mid 80s. He still speaks in a vernacular from northern Minnesota from the mid 80s. So allow me to state that when you hear the term Luga, when you hear the term Luga, he's only referring to haterbatory black folk. Once again, when you hear the term Luga, he's referring to haterbatory, hating ass black folk. Yana, allow me to proceed.
You want to talk about mob mentality? What I just witnessed right there was nothing more than an old-fashioned lynching. Well, gentlemen, when I look at you now, I'm staring at 3 dead men. You have came into the camp of the Horsemen, bold, brash, and attacked not only the world heavyweight champion, but you've attacked my inner soul, my family. 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 Now, Luger,
Think we've lost connection there. But you hear Arn Anderson himself. You hear
You gotta
Arn
love the
Anderson
fucking
himself.
80s. You gotta love the 80s, man. You gotta love the
Objection.
fucking 80s.
Objection.
Proceed.
Your Honor, objection. Your Honor, objection.
What have you objected? What are you objecting?
I just want to be able to laugh.
Okay, sustained.
So you see, Your Honor.
You see it, Luger. All right, go ahead.
Luger, please.
Oh, if he would have did Ric Flair, it would have been over. I would have been crying. We would have had to cancel court.
But you see Arn Anderson. From his inner soul, he believes that's his family. He talking about the heavyweight champion, and these Lugers are out here making attacks. Making attacks. So we see who Big Baby Anderson, aka Little Orphan Anderson, who his people are. We see who his people are. Now let me further continue, because there's also some assertions with regards to his coonery. Why he has so much love and admiration. Why does he support Tyson Fury? Why does he support Tyson Fury? Your Honor, allow me to bring more exhibits to the stand, if I may.
Proceed. I don't think Prosecutor Red is objecting.
No.
Okay.
So allow me to introduce Exhibit C, the Brotherhood. Tyson Fury, a so-called fighting man, we see him here within the WWE ring, wrestling with none other than, I don't know his name, but albeit he was in the wrestling ring, wrestling. Something that Lil Orphan Anderson definitely admires, because that was the first craft that he was indoctrinated with, the wrestling craft, the Anderson art of combat, which is wrestling. So you see here Tyson Fury wrestling it up with another random opponent. You see he looks like he's in the victor's pose. So I assume that he's won that match. Lil Orphan Anderson looks up to the Gypsy King because they have something in common, once again, with wrestling. But that's not the only thing that they have in common, Your Honor, and ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Because this is a brotherhood. They're not just fighting men, the Fury fighting men, the Anderson fighting men. No, this is the brotherhood. As you see, Your Honor, and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the tongues protruding out of the mouth is symbolic and paying homage to the god of mischief. We all know that Tyson Fury is not only the Gypsy King, but the king of mischief in the heavyweight division.
You say he's the Loki of the heavyweight division?
Yes, indeed, Your Honor.
Proceed.
Your Honor, not only does Lil Orphan Anderson revere and look up to Tyson Fury, his taller adversary and brother, but he's part of a real brotherhood who worships the god El, the god of mischief. Your Honor, with that being said, we cannot dismiss my client's religious freedoms. We don't live in Afghanistan where we're only allowed to worship one God, one type of way. This religion may have taken them astray from traditional social behavior. However, it's in his right to express himself in that manner. Therefore, this coonery charge against my client should be dismissed and should be directed into rehabilitation. Once again, Your Honor, my client is 21 years old, was indoctrinated by the cruel craftsmen of the Anderson family of wrestlers. We've seen the harsh and the real sentiments from Arn Anderson with regards to his soul is his family over the living proof beat. because Arn Anderson is living proof that the Andersons are Lil Orphan Anderson's people. So he did not mean to offend our black brothers and sisters. He was just keeping it 100. And by keeping it 100, we want to throw the next Jared ruler brought down from the heavens to rule the heavyweight division. We want to throw him under the bus. We want to throw him under the bus because we don't believe in the religion that he chooses to practice. He chooses to bow down to the God of mischief. This is America. We have religious freedoms, Your Honor. With that being said, my client should be exonerated of all charges. He is, with regards to the prosecution's allegations of administering medical chemicals and things of that nature without any type of certification and authorization from the CDC, should be brought to a higher court, Your Honor. My client has nothing to do with the distribution and the funding of that whole scale of vaccinations. My client is nothing but a small little petty thief on a totem pole. We want to go up to the top, Your Honor. The top where his handlers are, who's controlling Lil Orphan Anderson. Remember, I told you he's in boxing servitude to none other than Jay Prince and the Bob Father. But your prosecution wants to pin it on the small victimized orphan. The small victimized orphan that's found joy in worshiping and paying homage to the God of mischief. Your Honor, rehabilitation with the hopes, once he completes the LDBC rehabilitation program, he will one day be the LDBC ambassador, donning the patch permanently on his Roman trunks. Your Honor, that is my defense.
Would you like to cross-examine anything he said?
Absolutely. We're gonna definitely cross-examine that. We're gonna start off with his video. We're gonna first. It's so many different places.
Can I ask you another thing, Prosecutor Red, before you continue?
Yeah.
Are you willing to work with what he wants to be given to his client?
Absolutely not.
Okay, all right. So proceed.
No, absolutely not. Because
I just wanted to see if he was willing to.
First thing first, Your Honor. That whole thing that he put together was nice, but he didn't address any of the other charges that are there. But I will leave him room to cross-examine my statements. So I guess we'll do that with that. but I will cross-examine what he had and debunk what he had. Now he showed a video of the great Arn Anderson, right? Stating that Luger's are the hating black people and about his family. And everything that he said in that video was correct. So it wasn't him that was wrong. It's where the defense is. The defense, fella. Can I ask you a question? Is it true that you only respect the lineal title, or are you on board with the IBO, IBF title being the only championship titles?
I don't see the relevancy of this question, prosecution, but I am definitely an advocate, and you can see in my archives, shameless plug, the Art Filler, right here on YouTube, The War Report. I've always been an advocate of the IBO, as well as the lineal championship in my
Absolutely.
boxing NWO series.
Okay. And Your Honor, correct me if I'm wrong. The only thing that this court respects, seeing as though all the other sanctioning bodies or belt bodies, they have all been found guilty but one, and that's the WBO, correct?
Yes, sir.
Objection,
Okay.
Your Honor. The WBO's been found actually been found not guilty, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, in the WBO. The WBO.
Yeah, the WBO is the only thing here in this court that's been found not guilty. Everything else, defense, we have the same sentiments. I'm just saying. This is what I'm just going by what he said. I just want to make sure I got both of y'all correct on those two things. R. Anderson said that in that video, and I don't know if that was live, but we could get that again. But in that video, he said you were talking about the heavyweight champion, and you were talking about my family. Now, I am under the notion that he may have been talking about Tyson Fury. But, Your Honor, in the beginning, who he was talking to, listen here, Luger. He was talking to the hating black folks. Sounds like the hating black folks that hate the heavyweight champion, Deontay Wilder. That's what that video sounded like to me, Your Honor. Because Jerry Big Baby Anderson is no heavyweight champion.
No, he's not.
Nowhere near a heavyweight champion, Your Honor. He is not even top 10 contender.
Objection, Your Honor.
Order.
In 2017 and 2018, he was the U.S. national champion.
That was nationals. We talk
about pro ranks.
Yeah, I don't know.
With all due respect, sir. But proceed with your argument, prosecution.
Thank you, Your Honor. So he was definitely talking about the heavyweight champion, and seeing as though he was talking about Luger's, I have to say he must have been talking about Deontay Wilder. So salute to the great R. Anderson for giving props to his real family and the real heavyweight champion, Deontay Wilder. Okay, so that was that part. The second thing that he said, and which we're going to get into, is let's just start off with all my charges. You know what I'm saying? The first thing I had was torture. Now we all know what's been going on in that camp over there at the J. Prince Boxing Gym. We all know. Jared Big Baby Anderson has been administering all kind of vaccines and all kind of punishment to these guys. Now, when you're training and you're getting punished and you develop around the punishment, it should get you better. Steel sharpens steel. Correct, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Well, we have on record that Jared Big Baby Anderson has been torturing F.A. Ajagba. And the reason I can prove to you that it is torture, Your Honor, is because in Efe Ajagba's last fight.
Objection, Your Honor. This is nothing but hearsay. Does he have any evidence?
Your Honor, in Efe Ajagba's last fight.
Order, one at a time, gentlemen. One at a time. We're not running the kangaroo court.
Okay. In Efe's last fight, he was the same Efe that he was in all his other fights, Your Honor. Which goes to show you that those whippings that he's been getting in sparring have not been making him better. That is torture that's being placed upon him, Your Honor. Second is treason. We all know that Big Baby Anderson has been training and sparring with the Gypsy King. The Gypsy King is not from America, nor does he want to be from America. It goes so far to the fact that in his last fight that
Objection. Blatant
order. What are you objecting?
The Gypsy King has relocated to America. He's abandoned his UK ties. He's only went back to UK to see the birth of his glorious daughter.
But where is he at today?
He's in the UK looking
Okay.
after his glorious daughter and his beautiful wife.
He's
okay.
not
okay.
He's not American.
We'll take note of that, counselor. But overruled. Proceed, please, prosecutor.
Okay. He's not from America. Notice he want to be. And on top of that, in his last fight that he cheated the heavyweight champion, Arn Anderson's family, he sung "Bye Bye Miss American Pie." You know what I'm saying? And we all know that is a big kick in the ass to America. And this young guy has been training with him. Ultimate treason. Last but not least, I'm going to show an exhibit from his last, well, not last, but next, should I say. I'm going to show an exhibit from the last time he was in court. I said he was administering drugs that has not been approved by the CDC. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We want to see.
Okay, let's see. In his last case, it was found, and he was found guilty of this. Let me see if we can pull this up here. Can you see that, Your Honor? Is that visible to you?
I can see it.
Okay, yes. He has been passing out the Anderson vaccine. And if you want to, we could get into the stats if you want to a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Developed in 2020, you know what I'm saying? It has an American patent, but it hasn't been approved by the CDC. And this is what he has been giving out to foreign people. You know what I'm saying? He's been dishing out in America to foreign people to make them stronger, committing treason, and passing out drugs that hasn't been certified yet. So we have that right there.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection. My client is not just passing out drugs. He's passing out safety precautions, administering these drugs safely with the jab in the right hand.
Nonetheless, they haven't been approved.
Tyson Fury may need multiple boosters.
They haven't been approved. And by them not being approved.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. Sorry, I fell out.
Did you see the exhibit?
Nah, I gotta re-see that. The judge got to see. I'm pretty sure the jury seen it, but the judge ain't get to see it, so y'all got to pause.
And Jared Big Baby, I was saying that he was administering vaccines in drugs that was not certified by the CDC. And as you can see in his last case, Your Honor, which he was found guilty of, this is what he was administering. Can you see that?
Yes, I can see
That
it.
is the Anderson vaccine, developed in 2020. You know what I'm saying? At the J. Prince Boxing Gym, American patent, and it's administered with the right hand. A jab in the right hand. Sorry. He was found guilty of this. He's doing the same things today. Last but not least, you know what I'm saying? We're going to go into the civil rights, his extreme cooning. No one, let's be honest. Let's be honest. In America, every African American has white people in their family. Let's not confuse things here. Everyone. So we can't go around here saying that you don't know what I got. You don't know who's in my family. You don't know what my people is. You don't know what this is. Because when he say you should look out for your people, he could have been talking about Americans. You are an American, correct? Correct? Defense, Oddfellow? He is an American. Right?
He is. He won two national championships, both in 2017 and 2018.
Okay. So when you say your people, why automatically jump to race? Could you be cooning? Could we be saying you're American, he's American, this is a UK guy, the UK people are over there sticking to their guns and with each other, you should do the same? No. He doesn't see any of that. He jumps directly onto race. And jumping onto race, he takes a big shit on all the black people. He decides that he's going to join the side and be a Luger. Just like that, in one swoop. And then turn around and think that you can say you sorry or get a couple knockouts and you can come back to the very people that you just try to take a shit on? Oh, no, my friend. No. It doesn't work like that. This is why you must sit down. Now, maybe you could not get in trouble again and not go back to the LDBC jail. But as far as being a hero, I doubt it. Then, like I said, this is not the first time he has pulled this act within hating and cooning. He has done this before within saying Wilder is hard-headed, Wilder doesn't listen. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, I'm sorry. Saying Tyson Fury is going to win. That's fine. But then to go saying, oh, Wilder's hard-headed and all this extra stuff, he don't listen to his corner. Like, you don't know what was going on. You need to stay in your lane. But then to repeat and do it again and slap American fans, not even black American fans with the racist tirade that he went on, that's a slap in American fans, taxpayers' money. I mean, American taxpayers. That's a slap in their face. For you to just, you know what I'm saying, commit treason and then talk the nonsense that you talk with the Coon Platoon. So all these things, like I said, they must be answered for, and that's why he's in court today. And that's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you. I was waiting for that lengthy, nonsensical statement to finish. Civil rights. Once again, my client knows who his people is. Once again, my client is a devout worshiper to the God of mischief. The God of mischief supplies him with all the love and money that he needs. Therefore, he does not need the so-called love from his black brothers and sisters, because the God of mischief provides for him. You see the nice car if he drives during the IG dialogue. You see the nice outfits he dons when he comes to the ring. You see the 360 waves dancing and spinning in his hair. That all comes from the God of mischief. Therefore, by being a devout worshiper along with his brother Tyson Fury, it's no confusion why he would go against a man of such dignity and fortitude, a national treasure such as Deontay Wilder. But once again, Your Honor, we can't persecute a man for his religious practices of being mischievous. This could all just be for the garniment of attention, Your Honor, to raise his profile before the October 9th fight against a Russian that nobody in the chat can pronounce his name. But we are now talking about my client right here today without him even throwing a punch. The God of mischief provides for my client. And he is winning. He is winning at this moment right now. And will continue to win. And continue to get that bag under his handlers. Under his handlers. Under boxing servitude. Because he's doing what he's told under that corporate boxing servitude standard, Your Honor. The prosecution wants to talk about torture, but doesn't want to bring in the names of Bob Arum and Jay Prince along with this torture, who enacted, who set the plays for this torture to go down, who funded the whole system and situation for these vaccinations to be distributed, and for the guinea pigs to come in through sparring and get administered through the jab. There's none other than Bob Arum and Jay Prince. But the prosecution only wants to mention the brains, the maker of the serum. He had parts in making the serum, testing the serum on certain subjects, but through orders. He didn't enact those orders by himself. He is merely just a little orphan Anderson in 2019. He's merely just a big baby. How can we put all these pressures and responsibilities and all these accusations and indict a big baby? Shouldn't he be tried as YO, a youth offender? Your Honor, I don't believe that these courts are being just and right and exact. Once again, I must reiterate my client's expression for religious practices. Once again, I must express my client was under control by his handlers. He's merely in boxing servitude under the guise of Top Rank, Bob Arum and Jay Prince, forcing him to do the distribution, do the dirty work against other boxers in the sport. Your Honor, with those statements, you cannot see my client as a torturer. My client has a good heart, a lovely smile. That smile would not torture other boxers unwillingly, without contract. Everything was above board in accordance to the Top Rank and Jay Prince boxing complex. And underline Jay Prince boxing complex. It's not the Big Baby Anderson boxing complex. It's the Jay Prince boxing complex, where this serum was made, developed, distributed, and the proceeds go back to that same complex. But the prosecution will run circles around this shit and not want to look at where the source is, but instead want to cast aspersions and diversions because he's after my client for cooning. The prosecution doesn't care about the safety of these boxers. He doesn't care about the vaccinations. He cares about the coonage. But your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I showed you there is no coonage. There's only religious persecution going on here if you see my client guilty. Once again, rehabilitation and redirection to being the LDBC boxing ambassador. I rest
Is that
my
your
case.
closing? So that's your closing argument. We appreciate you, Counselor Steels. I will note one thing to you before I let Prosecutor Red go. If we do try him or if we don't, it'll be as an adult. He's 21 years old. You on your own. That's what I was told. Counselor Red, I'm Prosecutor Red. Is there anything you want to say before I render verdict, which me and the jury are ready?
Just the fact that if you commit a crime, and someone else tell you to do it, you still guilty. If you are in a criminal organization and you commit crimes for that organization, and because they told you to, or because you feel like that's what you have to do down by law for that organization, you're still guilty. That is no excuse. The top guys are just as guilty as you, and they have had their day, and they will have their day again if need be. But right now, we're talking about only one. And that's all I have.
Okay. I believe we heard both sides. Both sides have very strong arguments. We're ready to render verdict in the case 2196, the LDBC versus Jared Big Baby Anderson. We find Jared Big Baby Anderson guilty.
Ridiculous, Your Honor.
It's one of those situations that I feel like you're a grown man. There's really no excuse. Maybe if he was 18, 19, I might let it slide more, but I don't care even if in mentality you're not an adult when you're 21. You're 21. Let's act like it, like my
Can
mama
we
used to say.
can we have a closing statement from Arn Anderson?
Yes, sir. Anything for the great Arn Anderson.
You want to talk about mob mentality? What I just witnessed right there was nothing more than an old-fashioned lynching. Well, gentlemen, when I look at you now, I'm staring at 3 dead men. You have came into the camp of the Horsemen, bold, brash, and attacked not only the world heavyweight champion, but you've attacked my inner soul, my family, 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 inner soul, my family.
Gotta love Arn Anderson.
That was beautiful.
It was. That was a nice closeout. We appreciate the great Arn Anderson for chiming in. Next time, bring Ric Flair.
Unfortunately, I'm kind of afraid because he said you three are gonna be dead. So,
Now, you wasn't talking about us.
Your Honor, I think you need to raise security around the prosecution and the defense.
We sure will. Do you guys want to? This is a great show. Do you guys want to give your last before we get up out of here? We're gonna go over to Drew Titans. I believe he got something cooking over there.
Oh shit, y'all already know, man. Tomorrow, man, 4:15 Eastern Standard Time. We bullshitting on the Beltway. Check us out. Supreme Beast Boxing Talk. It's your boy Cadillac Red. It's the usual suspect. Ting! Salute to the LDBC. I'll holler at y'all in a minute, man. What?
Yes, sir.
I don't know what it is.
Jay Stills, tell the people what you got going on before we get up out of here.
Indeed, y'all know what it is. Another edition, another dope one. Boxing Night Court episode 25. Once again, Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going down. You know what I mean? Joshua Moeto is coming through for an album listening session. Once again, that's live inside the War Room, the War Report, the R Fella right here on YouTube. It's your favorite, your most hated R Fella. Salute to the whole LDBC. Salute to the chat/jury. It's the usual suspect Ting, and I'm Gizon.
Yes, sir. Salute to the whole jury that came through. Seen a couple new people in here, you know. Salute to my brothers, man. This is actually a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. I gotta go back and rewatch it myself. Had a lot of funny moments. I appreciate the brothers. I appreciate your jury. Make sure y'all follow me and check me out on Instagram and Twitter, Berserker_boy BOI. And y'all make sure y'all tune in next Sunday. We'll try to figure out who else need to get indicted or get them people ran up on and ain't doing right by the boxing. And with that being said, salute to the usual suspects, the LDBC and the full Berserker clan. It's your boy Ack Reacher. I never steer you wrong, and I'm out. Court is now